Just take this time to go within. I hear deep breaths in and out. Connect with the breath. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. So blessed. So grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Sing it if you feel it. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves that no matter what's going on the outside, that we still can look around and see blessings. Blessings in the faces that look back at us, in the goodness that we bring to the world, in the lights that we see in the world. We are so blessed. I am grateful and blessed. I am grateful and I am blessed. Happy Sunday.
So place your hands on your heart. Place your hands on your heart. Thank you, Rhonda. And just notice how you feel. So close your eyes. And notice if there is a difference with the repeating words of about a dozen times. I am so blessed. I'm so grateful. Notice if something shifted. Whether you sang it or not, whether you felt it or not, whether you just received Rhonda's singing, just let it land. And notice if anything shifted. There's no right or wrong, just notice. What happens when you sing or be sung to, I am so blessed. I am so grateful. And I start this morning with a spiritual mind treatment because that's just what we do. Start everything with affirmative prayer. So right here, right now, I know that we are in the arms of the beloved. We know that this is not a visible presence or a form. It is a life force, an energy that is everywhere, present in everyone, everything, everywhere, whether we agree with it or not. And so we open our minds, our hearts, our bodies, and our souls to this divine life force that breathes our breath and beats our heart, that changes the seasons with utter predictability and allows us to remember who and whose we really are. And so we come together as a spiritual community that teaches the science of mind teaching that says love is all there is, and our lives present us where we don't quite yet see, feel, know, or believe that. And there we rest until we feel the presence of divine love, which activates something inside of us and allows us to see light, to see love, to experience gratitude, and to do our part by making a difference where we feel there is a need. Trusting that allows us to be the change makers, the peacemakers, the love bringers, the healers, the healed, and the healing in action. So with awe and gratitude for this beautiful teaching, for this beautiful community, and for the presence of divine love, we simply turn this over to the universal law and we let it do the rest for each of us individually. And so it is.
And so it is.
So we do a namaste practice, and it's fabulous whichever way we do it, but today I want to do it a little bit slower because we need to slow down a little bit, maybe. So instead of going namaste, 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 I want you to go namaste. Take a breath. Look in the person's eyes before you go to the next person. Okay? And you don't have to do everyone. If you miss someone, nothing's going to happen because your practice, it just kind of goes everywhere, here and beyond. So put your hands together and say, So good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay. Life has completely changed. I don't know if you noticed. So I want to start with spiritual practice today. So let's start by closing our eyes. Place your hands on your heart and take a nice slow breath. Settle into your seats. And go back to when you first woke up. And quietly in the privacy of your own mind, heart, and body, just say, thank you. I woke up this morning. Remember what it felt like to actually wake up in a bed with sheets and blankets in a room that had some heat maybe, and say thank you. Thank you for my bed, my sheets, the warmth in the room. And then whatever it was, you got up. So say, thank you, my body. I was able to actually get up and maybe stand or walk or sit. Or say, thank you, body, thank you. And then whatever it is that you do between awaking and having your first cup of tea or coffee, just say, thank you, my cup of tea, my cup of coffee, my glass of water, thank you. And then maybe you showered, or took a bath, or got dressed. So just say thank you to every aspect of it. I am so grateful that I actually had hot water this morning, and that I got to put some makeup on my face and some lotion on my body. I'm so grateful that I got to pick a piece of clothing that makes me happy. I'm so grateful that I had food to eat for breakfast. So just use your own. And then you found your way in your car or Uber or a friend that drove you or a bicycle or whatever it is that got you here. So say thank you. Thank you. My car's name is Miss Pumpkin Latte. And so I thank her every day for keeping me safe. And then we arrived here together in this sweet space, in this sweet community. So start by saying quietly, thank you for all of that and whatever it brings to mind. And remember with me that we are here, that we are called to turn to the truth with a capital T no matter what, and it can start by a simple gratitude practice. Because where our attention goes, our energy flows. Ernest Holmes, the founder of our teaching, says to desert the truth in the hour of need is to prove that we do not know the truth. So we can always choose truth as an anchor, no matter what's happening in the world or in our lives. So now bring your attention back and open your eyes when you are ready. I really don't know what to say today. And I know that what I'm going to say may not be right, may not be enough, may not be good enough, may be challenging, may not be science of mind enough. Whatever it is, I have spent 5 days preparing to talk about what I want to talk about. Which is that we realized this week, after the elections, how divided our country is. I am not here to make anyone right or wrong. Each of us has the right to vote for who we vote for. I will never make anyone wrong regardless. I know we have people in our midst that voted for either or. You have that right. You have those reasons. There is much been talked about. I have my own opinions about it. I have some thoughts about it. But what I know is that we are at a blip in history. There is always a deeper reason for what's happening, and I am committed to standing in the truth of my spiritual wisdom. And so we get to kind of say, let me go from zoom out into spiritual truth, to zoom in to my own experience, to zoom in and even a little bit more, and to remember how much we each have to be grateful for. There is so much. And so we get to think about, how do I feel? Well, I feel happy, yay, my person won. Or I feel miserable and despair and grief and fear and anger because mine didn't. All of that is really important to be with and to feel and to think about, because that's your experience. That's your consciousness. That's the only thing we have to work with. I can't work with your consciousness or your consciousness. I can only work with my own, and I'm having my experience and my perception. That is worthy of being honored, not just in myself, but in everyone else, right? And so the challenging time right now is that there is a lot of fear. And a lot of hate on both sides, by the way. You know who you are. I've seen you on Facebook. Yeah. The humiliation and the jokes and the silliness and the cursing and the judging. I've seen it. You've probably seen it on my end too. But I have really used Facebook as a spiritual practice because that's what it is, like everything else, and say, well, how do I present? What do I want to present? What do I think? What do I say? How do I say it, right? What energy do I leave behind? And I'm not saying if any of you did anything different that that's right or wrong. You do you. It's just all a reminder that what we've noticed is something that has a spiritual principle behind it, and I'm going to get to that. I am neither left nor right. I am neither Democrat nor Republican. I'm not even a United States citizen. Many of you know this. Some of you are like, what? I have never become a United States citizen because I am a global citizen. I am a legal alien, so I don't think I'm going to be kicked out. After March, doesn't matter. But, so that means I don't get to vote. That doesn't mean I don't have an opinion. Recently somebody said, shut the hell up, you're not even American. You don't get to say anything. I'm like, thank you very much. Then I look within and go, look at my reaction. I work with that because it is what? My consciousness, my experience. It has nothing to do with what anybody says or thinks, right? And so what I've learned is that powerful message that Ernest Holmes gave 100 years ago in his writing, which said you get to choose to be for something and against nothing. So the more that we focus on what we are against, the more we create that experience. So all the people who hated him created him and voted for him. Because if your energy is on what you don't want, what happens?
You get more of that. You get more of what you don't want.
You get more of what you don't want. That's a very painful, sucky truth. I don't like it. And I'm sure that many of you are like, oh, I don't like that either. So it's really about what's happening is that there's an awakening happening. What do we see? How do we feel? What does it say? What are we going to do with this? What is my part in it? What do I need to heal in my consciousness? How do I do that? All that is a matter of reflection. And so we practice reflection by saying, what do I stand for? I stand for Black lives. I stand for LGBTQIA2+. I stand for women. I stand for people with disabilities or different abilities. I stand for those who are neurodivergent. I stand for the earth. I stand for survivors of abuse. I stand for animal rights. I stand for the indigenous communities. And I stand for accepting and loving all people. All people. It's so easy, right? I'm exhausted because it's really a challenge. But what I'm saying is that it is less of a challenge than when we do this. Right, wrong, good, bad, high, low, right? Because then it's just love. What does Ernest Holmes say? All there is what?
Love.
And if we're not witnessing love, we're not feeling love, we're not seeing love, it doesn't mean that anything is wrong or wrong with our consciousness or wrong with our experience. It just means that we have to sit in that truth, in that experience, until love rises up through us and we make a different choice and a different decision. It's very demanding, I know. But it is so worth it because it allows for healing and it allows for truth to reveal itself and it allows for an expanded consciousness, a greater depth of understanding what life is about. It allows us to look at it from a metaphysical perspective instead of just the surface and the physical form. So I learned something new when Lori spoke last week. She was freaking amazing. What a shining star and a shining light. When I was watching you, I was like, look at that queen go. And I learned something because I listen and I learned something from everybody. But I learned something about a book that I didn't know about. When she talked about when one door closes and another one opens, what's in the middle?
The hallway.
The hallway. And sometimes the hallway is hell or long. And I laughed at that. I'm like, what a great quote. One door closes, another opens, but it can be hell in the hallway. A book by Ellen Davenport. I have to check that out. And then in the afternoon, we did this beautiful healing afternoon, thanks to Christy, who is another shining light in our community. We had this beautiful afternoon with people from our greater community, and we did yoga and sound bath and 5 rhythms and qigong and had snacks, and it was just an amazing afternoon to be together in preparation for what was to come. Sometimes we don't know what is to come, but when we are prepared and we reflect and we get ready by working our consciousness, anything can come our way and we're ready to step into the truth and be it. So I was not surprised what happened with the elections, actually. I felt it for a while. But when I woke up, and I did not watch TV Tuesday morning night, I watched something funny because I needed to laugh, and then I went to bed really early, and I woke up and I watched, and I looked at the news, and I went. So I was shocked. So what I do when I'm not feeling right, or when I'm shocked, or I have a reaction, is I go out in nature. And I scream, or cry, or laugh, or roll around in the leaves, or throw them all up in the air. And I went to one of my favorite places, which is Rutgers Gardens in New Brunswick. It's a very magical place for me. And I usually do more or less the same path. It's about 45 minutes. And I decided to just go where my body wanted to go. And I did areas of the gardens that had paths I didn't even know were there. And some of you already know what happened because you saw it on Facebook. But anyway, so I just kind of went, I did a whole different path. So this is what my path looked like when I printed the map afterwards. What do you see?
I see a heart.
You see a heart?
A tea.
A person with a cup of tea. Pass, I have extras, pass some of these so you can take a closer look. Take 2 of them. What else do you see? A candle. Muscle.
I didn't see that before.
Muscle. This was amazing for me because what it said to me is kneel, hold out your hands, and receive the blessings that water, which represents consciousness, provides. That's a real river. And surrender. I will never forget this. I didn't plan this. After my walk, I looked at the little map. It's an app called Walk Leader. And I like to look, and it said, I looked at this and I went. So somebody told me that it was somebody showing the finger. A friend of mine said somebody about to take a bowl of pills. Oh my God. So people see different things, right? I saw surrender. And it allowed me to move into a place of gratitude. Zoom in. Think of the little things that you are grateful for. Begin to practice that as a spiritual practice until you feel a shift. Notice the shift. You notice that when you're still and when you're in your body and when you're sitting and when you're or writing your list of things you're grateful for, because we have so much to be grateful for. So much, more than you've even ever thought of. A 13th century German mystic, philosopher, Catholic priest, obviously evolved, teacher, Meister Eckhart said, you've all heard this before, if the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. If the only prayer you say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. Gratitude is a power spiritual practice, especially when we're in a moment where we don't feel grateful, when it's hard to feel grateful. Don't bypass. Let yourself feel ungrateful and afraid and worried and anxious for yourself or your loved ones or beyond. But then pause. That's what happens to me in meditation. When I sit still long enough, the little chatter on the surface of my mind begins to stop, and a deeper insight and awareness rises to the surface, and I remember who I am, who we are, what we're here to be and do. And it's always based on spiritual truth, right? So I think the earliest spiritual practice that most of us were taught was say,
Grace.
thank you.
Oh.
Say thank you. Some of us are a little resistant to that because usually there was a smack in the head or the butt or shaming, right? Say thank you. Right? And so we have some resistance to a gratitude practice that we don't really quite know where that came from. But most of us were taught very early on to say thank you. Be polite. Say thank you to the nice lady. Say thank you to the nice gentleman. Say thank you, right? And so what if that is the earliest spiritual practice, the simplest spiritual practice that we get to truly embody and embrace now as adults? Why? Because where your attention goes, your energy flows. Really important one to get that. To sit in the stillness and say, my attention is here, so that means that's where my energy is going, right? So when your attention is on what you're not grateful for, or what you hate, or fear, or don't love, or don't like, you are creating something in your experience. And we get to take that to the deepest level. Because even those of us, sometimes when we curse our bodies, especially when we're aging, or for whatever reason, guess what? Where your attention goes, energy flows. This is not a shame tactic. This is a thought of, oh, I need to be a little bit more aware of what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, where my attention is, because I have some cleaning up to do, some detoxing to do, some purifying my heart to do. A very dear friend of mine sent me a little picture yesterday, and it had a quote of Melody Beattie. She says, gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity, and it makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Wow! Gratitude does all that? Really? I'm going to take it a little bit more conscious and serious. Let me repeat it. Gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity. It makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. That's very powerful, right? And so, what is it that we're witnessing? You don't have to answer it. But it's a really powerful question we can ask ourselves. What am I witnessing in the world? What am I witnessing when I watch the news, depending on which channel you watch, right? Unfortunately, that's the world we live in now. Witnessing how people are, how they speak, how they live, what they think, what their opinions are. Witnessing our planet that's struggling. Witnessing racism and xenophobia and all those things that reflect as a demonstration of a sense of separation, right? So we pay attention, we begin to witness, and we know that what we witness is reflecting in our consciousness, and it's just telling us where we have a little bit more work to do. Because that's what happens when you're experiencing this human life until you take your last breath. And my guess is that we're maybe not done after that. But it allows us to be more present, more conscious, more kind, more peaceful. So one of the things that I realize when I look at life from a place of consciousness is that we're only witnessing two things. Thank God. We're witnessing a consciousness of scarcity or a consciousness of abundance. That's it. Scarcity says, there's not enough. I'm not enough. I don't do enough. I don't have enough. We don't have enough people to do this or that, right? And a lot of a scarcity consciousness is not conscious. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't walk around saying, I don't have enough, I don't do enough, without thinking about it, right? But unconsciously, we carry that, and where our attention goes, energy flows, whether we're aware of it or not. The universe says, oh, she's kidding. No, it's always so. And so scarcity, a feeling of scarcity turns into a grievance. It turns into hate, it turns into anger, it turns into anxiety, it turns into fear. But what is the remedy to scarcity? Abundance. Just flip it like a little pancake and think about it and reflect on it. Oh, okay, so I get to cultivate a consciousness of abundance. What is a consciousness of abundance? How does that show up in the world? Love, peace, joy, acceptance, compassion, understanding, gratefulness, yes. And so it brings us back to the simple practice of looking for signs of abundance. And even if it's only one thing, you sit in that. You drown in that. You dive into that until your consciousness shifts and you're able to look at life in a different way. The simplest spiritual practice is what?
Thank you.
Thank you. Gratitude. So, if grieve, you must grieve. I'm not talking about spiritual bypass, affirmations only. I grieve every day. I feel despair every day. I often wake up with it. What have we done to our planet? What have we done to humanity? What is happening? My family sent me a news clip of what happened in Amsterdam yesterday. The Israeli soccer team was playing in Amsterdam, and after the game, there was a huge riot where Israeli fans were being killed and hit and driven over and punched and kicked. It was heartbreaking, heartbreaking, heartbreaking. And so those are moments where I feel so much grief and despair, but when I sit in it, it passes. And then I arrive at a place of gratitude. The people who helped, the people who spoke up, the people who said, it has to stop and I'll do my part, not by focusing on the grieving, but by focusing on gratitude and acting on it, doing something. So I want you to know that prayer is incredibly powerful. So if today you're somebody that says, I'm a mess. I need a little affirmative prayer. Lori and I are available to treat with you and for you after celebration. What's very, very important for us is that we find ways to act from love. It doesn't have to be out loud. It can just be energetically, where you witness something that reflects the opposite, and you sit for a moment and you surrender to the love that's already within you. And then you energetically spread that wide. I want to close with a poem. I'm going to read it. By a poet that Laurie introduced me to. He's amazing. John Rodell. If you can still cry, it means you can still breathe. And if you can still breathe, it means you're alive. And if you're still alive, it means you still have some work to do. So go ahead and cry for a bit. Each tear is proof of your survival. Each jagged breath you take is evidence of your courage. You may be wounded. You may be discounted, but you're still here. And some days, simply still being here, despite what the world has done to you, is a miracle. You are a miracle. You are a miracle. You are a miracle. You are a miracle. My love, you are a miracle. Don't hide your streaking tears. They are your badges of salty valor. They are your badges of salty valor that tell the story how you kept going despite the raging storm. We need you. So go ahead, cry, breathe, survive, and then get back to work. Be the miracle. Yeah. All right. And now our beloved Rhonda is going to sing for us.
Thank you so much. That was very needed. This is what I know. This is what I know. We are all connected. The universe reflected in each shining part. And everywhere I go, I recognize the faces. All of my relations in this one heart. All I need is already looking through these eyes. Nearer than my breathing, closer than hands and feet. We are dreaming together all the gifts of heaven and earth. And so I receive all I can be. This is what I know, that we are all connected. The universe reflected in each shining part. And everywhere I go, I recognize the faces. All of my relations in this one heart. Now I need is already looking through these eyes.
appreciation, with sheer exhilaration, now I set it free. And so be it, and so it is. When I sing it, I can see it. How welcome a sin, and now I begin. Amen, amen. I'm gonna say amen. Oh, amen. I'm gonna let it be right here, right now. I say amen. This is what I know. Amen. Amen. Amen.
So, can you tell what that was? What was that song?
Gratitude?
It was a treatment. So I want her to do it again.
Wow.
And I want you to hear it as a spiritual mind treatment. Would you do it again? All right. We need to. I need it again. So
Yes, yes.
thank you, Rhonda. It's Jan Garrett, buddy. Yes.
This is what I know. We are all connected. The universe reflected in each shining part. And everywhere I go, I recognize the faces. All of my relations in this one heart. All I need is already looking through these eyes. Nearer than my breathing, closer than hands and feet. We are dreaming together all the gifts of heaven and earth. And so I receive all I can be. This is what I know, that we are all connected. The universe reflected in each shining part. And everywhere I go, I recognize the faces. All of my relations in this one heart. All I need is already looking through these eyes. Nearer than my breathing, closer than hands and feet. We are dreaming together all the gifts of heaven and earth. And so I receive all I can be. Now I let it go with such appreciation. With sheer exhilaration, now I set it free. And so it is, and so be it. When I sing it, I can see it. I welcome a sin, and now I begin. Amen. Amen.
take a breath. Take a breath. Take it in. And just feel what music can do. And what Rhonda can do. Sing a treatment. Twice. Oh, wow, that's such a powerful song. So, you know, one of the things that I do more and more is turn off my screens, whether it's social media, podcast, TV, and listen to music like this. And sing at the top of my lungs. I just wanted to belt it out with you. I had to really hold back. Thank you so much, Rhonda, for bringing your healing music. So, yes. So we have a few things happening here today. Fernando is bringing his incredible artistry to a workshop. We're going to do some art together. Those of you that did not yet sign up, you can still stay and sign up for it. It is co-creating with nature, and it's from 1 to 2:30. And then next week we have a very important day here. We need all of you here. If you love this community, if you love this teaching, if you feel a connection and you want to do your part, because if there's one thing I know, is that people are hungry for a spiritual connection, spiritual community, and a teaching that's common sense, like the science of mind to me anyway. And so we want to be that community, and so there is a meeting happening next week that Reverend Janice is going to facilitate. There's going to be the Leadership Council here. And it is it starts at 1 o'clock. We're following a potluck. I am re-inspiring, what some people call retiring. I'm re-inspiring the beginning of March. So this meeting is really about, well, what are we going to do next? What happens next? And you're all invited to be a part of that. The week after, our beloved Bill Stone is doing a presentation on dream interpretation. Have I had some crazy dreams this week? So Bill and I like to talk dreams because we both use our dreams for deeper understanding of our soul's evolution, and it's really a cool thing, sometimes not. I dreamt last night that my friend who's in her 70s got pregnant and Norman was advising her. So whatever that's about, you know. Yeah. My dreams. Thank you, universe. All right. I also had dreamt this week that I had one leg amputated. So you never know. You never know what shows up in your dreams, right? That's something to work with for the rest of my life. So next week, Kathy is going to facilitate social hour, but you're all invited to bring a dish to share because it is a potluck. And then we have nobody until the end of December. So I'm going to pass this out in case somebody wants to facilitate the social hour. I am so grateful for your presence, your generosity. Generosity and abundance just oozes out of everybody, or we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't get to be here together. And so I want you to know that you get to receive so much. You get to receive teachings, workshops, social hours, a space. And for that, I know you're grateful. And so your gratitude is just one way to give back, whether it's volunteering or making a donation, or just know that you don't have to feel obligated. If this is your spiritual home and you feel grateful and you want to give, we welcome your gift. So I'm going to pass this out. And if you are not giving today because you give differently, there's so many ways, then just bless the basket as it comes by you. And let's repeat with this little affirmation on abundance. Today I understand
Today I understand
the difference between scarcity and abundance. abundance.
The difference between scarcity and abundance.
I have compassion for my beliefs in scarcity,
I have compassion for my beliefs in scarcity,
whether I'm aware of them or not,
whether I'm aware of them or not,
and I'm ready to let them go.
and I'm ready to let them go.
I'm ready to experience the abundance
I'm ready to experience the
that
abundance
the universe constantly bestows upon me.
that the universe constantly bestows upon me.
I know this not just for myself,
I know it's not just for myself,
but everybody
but
else.
for everybody else.
And so it is.
So it is.
All right. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. Yeah. Closing treatment, and then we'll have Rhonda. So if you are comfortable, I want you to stand up and take the hand of somebody next to you. If you're not comfortable holding hands, it's okay. Run to the back of the room. Or hold hands with somebody across the aisle, especially. If you're not comfortable, you don't have to participate. Not everybody is comfortable, I'm aware. So close your eyes. In this very moment, my attention goes to the hand that I hold, and my energy flows from a place of heart, soul, truth, wisdom. And I'm so grateful that I get to share my unique experience, my uniquely beautiful heart, my uniquely precious soul, and my unique experience of being part of this community. So I trust and know that right here, right now, I am so deeply blessed because this energy is healing whatever needs to be healed in me. And it's just a reminder that I'm whole, perfect, and complete exactly the way I am. So I trust my evolution. I know that it is divinely guided, that I have everything I need to stand in the truth of my very being, to allow love to flow through me, and to be an instrument of love in the world in my own unique way. This I extend to all of humanity, to our beautiful earth, to all beings, finned, feathered, or any other way. Furred, I forgot furred, our furred beloveds. And so this truth is the truth upon which the universal law is working right now, and I trust that it dissolves whatever is in the way and that healing is afoot. So all that's left is to be deeply, deeply grateful, and this gratitude allows me to understand that love is all there is. So say with me, love is all there is. Again.
Love is all there is.
And one more time.
Love is all there is.
And so it is.
So it is.
Yes. Rhonda.
Behind the mist that seemed to block my way, I found a peace, a joy, a better bliss that brightens every day. Ooh, yeah, yeah. I don't know what else I should say. I'm at a loss for words. Just wanna share my joy in every way. never